Well, well, a howdy doody to you all. I'm back, and I just want to make an announcement. As I've been saying lately, I've been trying my damnedest to keep on my workout schedule since the gyms are open back, and I've been pretty good about it. And Trying to do that, and between working graveyard shift and trying to do my workout, um, I feel like I must warn you to let you know that I'm going to try to put out as many videos as I can, commentaries. However, sometimes you may see a 2 to 4 day time period where there's no videos. I'm still trying to do videos, trying to find the time to do them. That's what it comes right down to. But I'm still going to attempt to try to post as many commentaries as possible. If there's some happenstance situation where I am posting one a day or even multiples in one day, hey, so that's all the icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned. And if it's like every 3 or 4 days, I apologize, but I feel like I need to inform you all of this. To let you know that the page, this channel, American Social Democracy, is relevant. Want to have that cleared out of the way. And now let's get to the meat and potatoes of this commentary. As you know, Rush Limbaugh, you know that guy on the radio. For quite some time, he's had lung cancer, and he's been on heavy treatments over, I guess, this past year over his lung cancer. Just a few days ago, he informed the public that his cancer is terminal. I personally do not like Rush Limbaugh, and I do not. I mean, and I was always troubled by his politics, but I do offer my condolences on a human to human level. I do not want to see anybody suffering from this, and that includes people I dislike politically. Dislike. Um, I think he's a very divisive person, and he's been very toxic to the political discourse in this country and a hindrance to progress in many ways. But the First Amendment is still important, and unfortunately, free speech includes freedom of speech that I find most offensive, and I find Rush Limbaugh offensive. But free speech as it is, and I support free speech. He doesn't. It makes me better. But anyway, his ugly politics, his racism, his dog whistles, and sometimes the dog whistles are not actual dog whistles; they're outright racist statements. Now, Don Imus, over a decade ago, had a program, and he made some off-color remarks about some women, African American women, referring to them in derogatory ways, and he had his show taken off the air. And I'm like, what the hell? Rush Limbaugh's made out of it. There's, it's like he's like kryptonite. Not, I mean, it's just nothing can get rid of him. I mean, it's like Rush Limbaugh will make these off the wall comments, sexist and racist. And I know I'm not trying to do it in the catch all goofy liberal knee jerk victim game, but he has objectively made racist, sexist, homophobic comments over the years and been pretty nasty about it. And yet he still has a program, and other people have made a passing remark, and their careers are destroyed as a result. I'm just like, what the hell? What would it's sort of like the resistance trying to get rid of Donald Trump for the past 4 years, and every time they try, and he comes out again stronger. Right now, he looks very weak, but I'm not gonna sing victory yet. I do think that Biden will win the election, but hey, I think that we still have to be careful and see what happens. But getting back to Rush Limbaugh, I mean, he's utilized racism as a tool. Uh, yeah, that's what he likes to do when it comes to foreign policy. He is a neocon from hell. There's not a war out there that he doesn't favor. And when it comes to union busting, and when it comes to deregulation, and when it comes to tax breaks for the wealthy, Rush Limbaugh is the biggest corporatist there is out there. He's not for the little guy in any way, shape, or fashion. He's always for the powerful and the elite, while claiming he's not of the powerful and elite. And he's the biggest partisan hack there is. Republicans are always good in his eyes. Democrats always bad. There's no cut and dry to it. Red team versus blue team. Red team good, blue team bad. That's basically Rush Limbaugh in a nutshell. And he is the biggest hypocrite you can imagine. And what I mean by hypocrite is that, for somebody who bitches about family values, he's been married what 4 or 5 times. It ain't for his looks. It sure as hell ain't for his looks. I mean, if you got that kind of money, I guess you can have as many spouses as you want. But he accuses the liberal left of being divisive and being hateful, and he's like one of the most hateful people you can imagine. It's kind of like whatever Republican president's in power right now. Any liberal talks bad about him, he's like, "How dare you go and talk bad about this Republican president?" But if a Democratic president is in power, they pull off all the stops and just attack, attack, attack. Now, at the same time, I mean, I'm not saying Rush Limbaugh should just go and you know pull off all the stops and help Bernie Sanders if he runs again in 2024. Rush Limbaugh still alive, then help Bernie Sanders become president. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying he accuses people of being partisan, and he's one of the most partisan um, hacks you can imagine. And he's a hypocrite. I mean, he favors things like getting tough on drug dealers and drug users and putting them in the boot camp, which is what George Bush Sr. advocated back in the late '80s, early '90s. Well, in 2003, Rush Limbaugh was caught with some non-prescription painkillers, and he was asking for pity from people when it comes to him about ready to be prosecuted for it. Now I say no, throw fat bastard down into the jail because and maybe he should be put in boot camp. I have no pity for him as far as I'm concerned in that regard. Yeah, if you're wanting to go and disrupt and destroy people's lives over this absurd drug war, yeah, when Rush Limbaugh gets caught with some illegal drugs, yeah, he should suffer the consequences. But justice did not win out in that regard. Oh, this past year when President Donald Trump awarded Rush Limbaugh the Presidential Medal for Freedom. As far as I'm concerned, the Presidential Medal honor for freedom is now worthless because Rush Limbaugh was given this medal. What did Rush Limbaugh have? What did he ever do for freedom? What has he ever done for freedom? Every time I've ever listened to his lame ass show, it's always one form of authoritarianism or another that he advocates. I can't think of one thing that's freedom centered um, that Rush Limbaugh supports. I see him advocating taking away people's rights a whole lot, which makes him no different from Sean Hannity or Glenn Beck or Mark Levin or any of those clowns because they all go on about how they love freedom. But honestly, when I listen to them, I don't see them actually advocating freedom. I see them advocating taking away freedom from people that they oppose, and and that's why I'm a better person than they are, because I may disagree with these people. I'm not out there to try to take away their freedoms, but Rush Limbaugh and his ilk, they are. Well, I want to get back to the cancer for a second. Recently this year, it was in Milwaukee, in early February. Travis Surrendus, I think that's his name. He's a teacher in Milwaukee, and he pulled out a tweet that says it's awesome that he's dying, referring to Rush Limbaugh, and that disciplinary action was being discussed, and I don't know if he was actually disciplined for this, but here's the thing. As I said, I personally do not like Rush Limbaugh, and but I'm going to tell you, I also didn't appreciate what this teacher said about Rush Limbaugh either. And while I do think his comments were distasteful, without a doubt, because I'm not defending the teacher, as far as his comments were concerned, it is out of line. I do find it unsettling and troublesome that people could potentially get fired over mere words being used on a personal social media outlet. And for me, it's pretty cut and dry. The First Amendment, no exceptions. The First Amendment is supposed to protect all speech, including offensive speech. It's not for the speech we're all for. What's controversial? I like to have a glass of tea. Nothing controversial about that. You know, nobody will argue. Oh wow, how dare American social democracy make a comment about how delicious tea is? But when it comes to political speech, people make exceptions, and there should be no exceptions at all, not one bit. And I'm not saying this because I'm some sort of partisan hack. I'm not. You know, I'm not a Democrat. I mean, I'm damn sure not a Republican, but I'm not a Democrat either. But I just want to say that the First Amendment protects everyone, and even even if somehow Bernie Sanders ran again he will run again in the year 2024 and get the nomination and win the presidency, and which I would be very happy if that happened. Um, I would, if some asshole wish for Bernie Sanders to die or made all kinds of nasty statements, just short of it being an imminent threat. In other words, if somebody came up there and said that Bernie Sanders is an asshole, or they wish that Bernie Sanders died, even though I find it very offensive considering what a big supporter of Bernie Sanders I am, on free of speech grounds, that's the difference between me and others on the right. Those on the right that get all triggered. I will support the free speech of those people, even if they hate Bernie Sanders to the core. And as I said, I am, probably one of the biggest cheerleaders for Bernie Sanders around. Although I can tell you that while I still respect Bernie Sanders, he's not his feisty, independent, angry 1980s, 1990s self that I admired and respected all these years in his regard. But even an attack, even a verbal attack against Bernie Sanders, I will protect on free speech grounds, and that's basically what I'm saying. So, and that's my long-winded way of doing this. I'm sorry that he's got cancer on a human level. I'm sorry he's got cancer. Um, but I still say Rush Limbaugh, and I will probably be discussing Rush Limbaugh again. When that time comes and he's no longer with us, telling you what a son of a bitch he was when he was alive. And without apology, I will tell you, Rush Limbaugh was a son of a bitch. Is a son of a bitch. I think that he's an absolute asshole, and I think that he's horrible, and all of that, and so easily proved wrong. On top of that, in 1997, I was on the Rush Limbaugh show. I had to go and correct him on the UPS strike that took place because he was on the side of UPS and I was on the side of the Teamsters that were striking, and I had to go and correct him on there. My good friend up in Montana, Dwight Welch, who was a comrade of mine in the Socialist Party USA, who is now a United Church of Christ minister, I believe, up in Billings, Montana. These days he's living up there. He got on the Rush Limbaugh show in 1996, the year 2010, and he also put Rush Limbaugh in his place. He was very nice about it, but he eloquently basically owned Rush Limbaugh. It was really hilarious seeing Rush Limbaugh squirm because he knew he was being owned by Dwight. This is why I tell Dwight he needs to do what I'm doing, do a YouTube channel, and because I think he'll be good at it, and I hope he's watching. Because Dwight, I'm telling you, do it, do a channel, do a channel. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I'm sorry on a human to human level that Rush Limbaugh has cancer, and and terrible that happens to anybody. But at the same time, it's not going to alter the fact that I always thought that he was a negative force in this country. Still thinks he's a negative force. Still think he's negative and have contributed to a lot of what's wrong in the political discourse in this country. So that's basically all I got to say. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you were triggered, tough, comment anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you that if you have a platform or and want to share your views with the world, or you don't have a platform, develop one to actually share your views with the world, please do so, because we're all the muckrakers of our time. And most importantly, subscribe. Help make this channel grow. And until next time, I am American Social Democracy. Peace, and Bernie Sanders for president in the year 2024.